Now, the commercial property scene. Alright, so what about commercial real estate? The shops, offices and warehouses around town. This part of the market doesn't always get as much fanfare as housing, but there's been some notable action in the first half of 2025. First off, Bundaberg's economy has been chugging along steadily, and that's reflected in our commercial sector. We've seen new businesses opening and existing ones expanding, which keeps demand up for the commercial spaces. Vacancy rates for good retail and industrial spots are pretty low. You might have noticed certain strips around the CBD or the shopping centres are fully leased these days. A far cry from a few years back when you'd see more for lease signs lingering. One headlining grabber was a big transaction. Bundaberg's largest shopping centre was sold for a whopping $107 million earlier this year. That's a huge vote of confidence in our region from major investors. For those curious, the buyer was a partnership including a major funds manager, and they clearly see long-term value in Bundy. When a $100 million deal goes down here, it's basically saying the smart money expects Bundaberg to grow and prosper. It's not every day we see nine-figure commercial deals in a regional city. Beyond retail, industrial properties like warehouses and logistics sites are also in demand. Bundaberg's strategic location in the Wide Bay and its role as a hub for agriculture means there's constant need for storage, processing and distribution facilities. I've heard that well-positioned industrial land and sheds are getting harder to find, and new industrial estates, when they're developed, tend to attract a lot of interest. It's more of a quiet achiever segment, but investors like it for the solid rental yields. Yields on commercial property here are often higher than in Brisbane or Sydney. Investors can get maybe around 6 to 7%, even more annual return on a good commercial lease, which is appealing when interest rates are easing. Let's not forget office space. Though, to be fair, Bundaberg isn't a big office market. We're not exactly Brisbane CBD, for example. Still, we have seen local professional services grow. Places like the Bundaberg Integrated Health Centre, just an example, and other new office builds have mostly filled up with tenants like medical practitioners, accountants, and etc. There hasn't been a glut of office space. If anything, it's balanced. The work from home trend hasn't hit us as hard as capital cities, and many local businesses still operate from bricks and mortar offices. One trend worth mentioning is the blurring of lines between commercial and residential in some areas. For instance, small business owners from down south are moving here, buying a home and also looking for a small shop or cafe to run because commercial opportunities here are more affordable. It's not unusual to see a newcomer from Sydney who started a boutique in Bargara or a cafe in town after cashing out of their metro rat race. This injects fresh energy into our commercial scene. New ideas, more demand for those little retail spaces. So, compared to late 2024, I'd say the commercial sector in 2025 or the first half of 2025 has been solid and steady. Prices haven't skyrocketed like houses, but they've held firm or seen moderate growth. Crucially, confidence is high. That shopping centre sale proved it, and even the local council's approvals of new projects show businesses are betting on Bundy. If you own a commercial property, you're likely enjoying stable rent and maybe contemplating a value uplift. If you're a business tenant, you might have noticed lease rates inching up a bit, though thankfully we're still far cheaper than big cities for renting a shopfront or an industrial unit.